Let's start with the Super Bowl. It was noticed afterwards, after the game, that Tom Brady and Robert Kraft, the team owner, had an embrace on the field, and there was a lot of conjecture over whether Brady and Kraft were kissing on the lips. People thought that was a little strange.
They looked like they were about to. Like they both went in to kind of say something at the same time, and I believe that they have for sure kissed on the lips at some point, and that's just. That's like a long-term male friendship. I'm not even going to fault him for that. I'm just like, where was Papa John? You know what I mean? You win a Super Bowl, you're looking around for Papa. And I don't know if it's because of the scandal recently, but Papa John's not there. And I think when you see someone as successful as Tom Brady almost kiss Robert Kraft on the mouth in front of millions of people, you got to blame Giselle. You know what I mean? Giselle's not taking care of business. If your husband needs a kiss, you better give it to him, or else he's going to Kraft. And it's just like, no matter how hot someone is, no matter how many millions of dollars she makes as a supermodel, someone's sick of her, and it's her husband.
When I was Googling this to see the clip, because I hadn't watched it, I wasn't watching TV at the time. There was also
you'd love to talk about that as if like you not doing your job well is something to brag about.
There's also a meme out there, or a kind of a picture, which it turns out is Photoshop, but Snoops.com had to do a study of whether Brady and Belichick kissed on the lips after the Super Bowl too, because someone kind of combined a couple pictures.
Is Snoops.com different from Snopes.com?
I don't know.
Is it like Snoop's website of conspiracy theories?
That would be an awesome website. Because I don't know if you remember, there's kind of been a controversy over the years that Brady on his reality show, kisses his kids on the lips.
Mm-hmm.
And people just thought that was strange. And then there's been Super Bowls where Tom Brady and his dad, kind of kiss on the lips, and they're just like a family kiss on the lips. That's the family way they do things, and they say that's normal, and lots of families do that.
What's your point?
I don't know. That's surprising to me. All of that I just said is surprising to me.
I think love is love. I'm all for it. I can't. That's like the one thing I can't fault Brady for. Is it a form of cheating on his wife? Yes. Has he cheated in every aspect of the game, including pliability? I think pliability is cheating. I think that these were non-kisses. I think it just looked like from that camera angle.
Okay.
It looks like kisses. They save it for the showers. You know what I mean? You got all that champagne. You're going to kiss in the shower. It's a fact. Oh, you telling me no?
I mean, I didn't. A lot of people are down there in the locker room.
You would think that
would come out. Robert Kraft has a serious girlfriend. I think that would be a problem for everything.
Still, it's Super Bowl night. 53 guys on each roster. 53 guys on the Patriots roster, plus trainers, plus owners. Someone's kissing in the shower. It's statistics. And in fact, if there's one good thing that came out of the Super Bowl, besides the first male cheerleader, congratulations, Los Angeles Rams, to perform in the Super Bowl, would be whoever kissed in the showers. I think maybe that's why I'm so mad this year, because of the Los Angeles Rams, because I live in Los Angeles. Everyone around LA has just been head down.
Yeah,
trying to figure out what's going on. It is.
It's a dour mood around the city right now. People having a hard time recovering.
Can we just please move on to a story that I can get into, that I can sink my teeth into?
Liam Neeson got in a little hot water this week in an interview promoting his upcoming movie. He said, when looking for inspiration for the role, for the sort of rage that he needed to feel, he remembered back decades ago when a friend of his was raped. And when that happened decades ago, he said for weeks he would go around on walks looking for any black bastard, and that's using quotes, his quotes, to come out of a pub and have a go at him about something so that he could kill him.
Yeah, he wanted to. He would walk around black neighborhoods, or predominantly African neighborhoods, hoping that someone would step to him so that he could kill the man as revenge for his friend's rape. And listen, a lot of people are calling him racist for this. And he came out today and clarified that he was like, I was kind of admitting my racism, and then, like, after walking around for a couple of weeks with this in my head, I realized I'm wrong. This is crazy. He shouldn't have said it. But I'll say this.
He said he was walking around with like a bat, essentially, like a
what
shiv.
do you call it? It's a caustic?
A cush?
Yeah,
a kosh?
Something that I didn't understand what it was.
A kosh.
The Irish. And the Irish are not known for their racism. So this really stood out that Liam Neeson would say something like this. But I remember just after college, this is probably right after you left, Greg, one of my friends was raped by a half Filipino, half Italian man. And for, I would say, 6 months, every night I would just walk around with a can of mace and a cigarette lighter, trying to find anyone who was half Italian, half Filipino. And it got to the point at the end of the 6 months that I would just ask people if they were part Italian in Filipino and hope that someone would answer me. And the first person who answered me would have gotten a kush right across the face. But it never happened. I just love.
So how do you ask that? How did you ask that?
It's exactly the same as it is in English, surprisingly. The Filipino language is a lazy language. They pretty much just took English and just used that for the most part. I just think it's like really funny to be promoting a movie where you drive a snowplow and kill people, that you would ever let this be brought up. But he brought it up. No one was like, hey, has any of your friends ever been raped? And if so, who did it and how did you react? He brought this up during a press tour for a movie that, I mean, unless, the only way this could have been funnier is if it had been like an animated movie. That he went into this for. That, like, listen, Liam Neeson's a great guy. Everyone loves him.
Is he?
Yes.
How do we know he's a great guy?
Because you can't be around this business for this long without horrible stories coming out. Remember the time he was on ESPN live and didn't know what the hell they were talking about for 5 minutes? That was amazing. Do you remember this, Erica?
I don't.
Oh, my God. They asked him about, like, Tim Tebow. He's like, we should start over. And they're like, we're live. What do you think of Tim Tebow? And he's like, you might as well be speaking French to me right now. And there's no question they can ask him. I think he only knows soccer. And Irish soccer at that.
I mean, but the thing is, okay, he said it. You're right. He did even initially say, it taught him a lesson. Basically, after 4 to 5 times of doing this, he realized, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you shouldn't think like this. But it's insane that he thought that. It's insane that he thought that in the first place. And I even wondered, like, is there any chance he's just making up this story to, like, be like a cool actorly story about motivation, and then he found himself like really trapped in a corner that he couldn't get out of because he's a
possible.
crazy person.
And he also, I mean, he was in his early 20s at the time when you're like stupid and make mistakes, very racist mistakes. Like I'm not even gonna get into what Erica pulled in Atlanta, but when you're in your 20s, you don't get a pass, but it's a little more understanding. It wasn't like he was like,
no.
So I was promoting Love Actually, and I decided to walk around looking for black people. No,
you don't get a pass on that. That's like the people that are giving the pass on the group of kids that were going after the Native American at that rally. I forget what the name of those kids are. I mean, this guy, he was in his 20s. You should not be in your 20s walking around with like a stick just wanting to beat up kill a black person. It wasn't like he was looking for the specific guy who raped his friend. He was just looking for anyone.
Yeah, you don't get a pass. But if you make it to your 70s and you tell the story, it's not like, oh, this guy should be fired. Do you know what I mean? Like, if those kids make it to 70, they're like, I did a lot of great things, but one time I was at this rally and I got in a Native American's face. Like, I agree with you 100%. But I think he's like late 70s.
But he's still making like action movies about killing people with snowplows.
Still? He just made the one. I forgive him. And I'm going to see the snowplow movie.